Okay. You've reached the Emerald City Church. How may I help you? Oh, is that you, Kevin? I didn't think you'd be there already, so I was just going to leave a message with the priest. Hey, Rufina. Yeah, I got here late this morning. How about you? When do you think you'll be getting here? I'm going to be a little late, I'm afraid. There's been an accident or something, so the train's been delayed. I probably won't be getting there until this evening now. Gotcha, I'll wait for you to arrive. I think Reese and the kids would get all bent out of shape if I showed up without you. Oh, please, I'm sure you're just exaggerating. Also, speaking of Reese, I hope you've been thinking about how you're going to cheer her up. I've got it all planned out. I've been stocking up on souvenirs from every mission I've been going on. Should be enough to snap her out of her funk. I wouldn't be so sure if I were you. Girls her age are more complex than you think. Yeah? I guess she's not really a kid anymore now that she's 13, but still. Actually, that's about how old you were when we first met, right? Now that you mention it, it was. How time flies. It's alright, looks like the train's ready to leave. I'm gonna have to go. I'll see you later then, alright? If you get bored of waiting, you're welcome to go on home ahead of me, of course. Got it, see you later. And how time flies is right. Have I really not been home in 2 years? And I guess that makes 9 since I met Rufina. I hope Reese isn't too grumpy when we finally get there. Kevin! What is it, Father? Has something bad happened? Well, I've just received word that someone spotted a group of men dressed in all black at the edge of town. What's worse is they were supposedly heading for the mountain path. You don't think? If they were, Astor House might be their target, I fear. Do you have any idea what could be going on? Wish I did. I doubt it's anything to do with the grouse litter, at least. I think I should go and check on it, just in case. Please do. Oh, do you know when Rufina's going to be arriving, by the way? This evening, by the sound of it. She said her train's been delayed. When she arrives, can you let her know what happened? Damn it, Jaegers? Seems like there's anywhere but between 5 and 10 of them. What could they want with a gospel facility to begin with? The longer they're allowed to be in there, the more danger the kids are in. I'm gonna have to try and handle this alone. It's time to put my combat skills to good use. The Guardian's Trial. Celeste? Wasn't it the name we saw in those data crystals? That's right. According to those, she was the de facto leader of the group of ancients who sealed away the Ariole. She was also the founder of Liberal's current royal family. I'm glad to see the information I left behind ended up proving useful to someone. It really did. So then you're really the founder of Liberal's royal family? Not technically. I'm not the real Celeste Aslis. Think of me as something of a shadow, or a partial copy of your personality created in order to influence Phantasma from within. How can you only be a partial copy? The truth behind you is apparently more complicated than we thought. You don't appear to be a spirit of some kind, though. I see that now. That is correct. Before I try to explain just what I am, I should probably tell you more about what the world we are in is first. You can do that? This should be interesting. As you are aware, the land in which you stand is called Phantasma. This is a world belonging to a higher plane of existence created several thousand years ago by the Ariole. Its purpose was to act as a subsystem for the Ariole in order to incorporate and process the will of the liberal arts populace. One might call it a self-organized world designed to realize countless possible others as necessary. Pardon? You've lost me. Yeah, isn't there a simpler way to explain this? Well, not technically correct. Perhaps you could think of it this way. Phantasma is like a fictitious realm created by the Ariole in order to fulfill humanity's every wish and desire. That's better. What exactly qualifies Phantasma as fictitious? I can't help but think it far too real to be a land of pure fantasy. When I say a fictitious world, I don't mean to suggest that Phantasma is a complete lie. It's more like a shadow graph or a kaleidoscope. It has its own laws and can change to reflect countless different possibilities. Does this make the concept any easier for you to understand? Somewhat, yes. Suddenly the name Phantasma seems that much more appropriate. Yeah. As I stated previously, it was a subsystem of the Ariole rather than being the Ariole itself, and it helped to grant people's desires. They were separate entities, but effectively like two sides of the same coin. The relationship caught our eye as we were devising the sealing mechanism. You mean the mechanism used to seal away the Ariole? That was also in those data crystals left behind. Exactly. At first we thought our plan would be impossible to execute. After all, the Areola has absolute control over space itself and is able to influence mankind's every action. Even after coming upon the idea of temporarily freezing it and imprisoning it with a gravity barrier, we had no way to implement our plans. How's it going, Liddy? Without that, there were simple ideas with no real meaning. We were effectively at a total loss. You had discovered your foe's weakness, but had no way to take advantage of it. That must have been quite the frustrating predicament. Indeed. And yet our perseverance rewarded us with the development of something that could take advantage of that weakness, the Recluse Cube. Is that what this is known as, then? Yes, that is the only object in existence able to interact with Phantasma without relying on the Areola as an intermediary. Celeste used that to create a partial copy of her personality, that is me, inside Phantasma. And once inside, I began working to sabotage Phantasma's functionality by using this garden as my base of operations. As a result of my efforts, the Areola's processing ability was hindered just long enough for the plan to be executed. He who catches his foe off guard wins the battle. Same principle applies to martial arts, too. Sounds like you really put a lot of thought into planning everything. Maybe, but I can't deny that luck played a part in the end. Once the Areola was sealed away, my work was done, and I fell into a deep sleep here. The reason being that if the Areola were ever unsealed, I might be able to provide assistance to the people of that time. I'm pleased you've been able to handle it just fine without my help, however. Feeling pretty cozy. Feeling pretty dapper. Pretty good. Yeah, I think so. Luck's played a huge part for us too, though. We're not even sure where the Areola is now. As far as we're aware, it disappeared during all that happened at the Liberal Arc. I thought as much. I was able to confirm the Areola's disappearance from here within Phantasma, too. When I did so, I thought my purpose for existing was finally over, and that all that was left for me in this land was to embrace a slow and peaceful destruction. That was not it. Soon the Lord of Phantasma appeared. Ah, so that's when it happened. Quite a recent development, I see. The Lord of Phantasma appeared out of nowhere, stealing all of my power before I was even aware what happened. After doing so, they began to remake Phantasma in accordance to their own designs. Both this world's current structure and the planes that make it up were all the Lord of Phantasma's creations. Looks like your theory was correct, Ray. Blah, 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 blah. Still, that makes it sound like, yeah, so you don't know who that masked bastard is either, then? I'm afraid not. Every action thus far has been a mystery. Ordinarily, they should not have been able to gain access to this world in the first place, and I'm afraid I have no idea what they're trying to achieve by bringing all of you in here and testing you. Well, that's a shame. Yeah, that's the part we want to know most of all. I only wish I could be of more help. The only other thing I can say about them is that I suspect the Lord of Phantasma is currently in the 7th plane. There's a 7th? Well, what makes you think that? That was the first plane they created after appearing in this world. Just what kind of a place that plane is, I don't know. But I can sense dark and human thoughts from there, and they're spreading out across the whole of Phantasma. That doesn't sound good. Then we'll be seeing them after the next one, won't we? Yeah, we just finished the 5th when we came back here. Presuming they're waiting for us on the 7th, the time to fight them head-on may not be that far off. I was getting tired of waiting. As was I. It seems the end may finally be in sight. Now, if only we had some sort of inkling as to what the Lord of Phantasma is trying to achieve. Actually, I just might. Oh. Kevin, you're up! It's good to see you again, Father. You too. Wasn't expecting you of all people to get an invitation here, or you for that matter, little lady. I'm sure you weren't. I got something I want to ask you, but I suppose that can wait until later. Ah, for sure. Are you sure you're feeling alright? Right as rain. Feeling just good. I'm feeling just great. All that sleep must have done me a lot of good. I see you guys made a whole lot of progress while it's out cold, too. Yeah. Hey, I'm Kevin Graham. Or maybe I don't need to introduce myself since you seem to know a thing or two about everyone who's come in here so far. True, I was able to tell what was happening at the Liberal Arc from the garden. Out of all the people here, you are the one closest to the truth of what is happening here. Am I wrong? What? No, I don't think you are. I can't pretend to be much of an expert on what Phantasma itself is, but I got a pretty good idea as to who's responsible for all this. I can only think of one person twisted enough to put us through all we've been through. Wait, is it someone you know? Now, you could say that, yeah. The short version is they're a real piece of work. Cunning, arrogant, cold-hearted son of a bitch who doesn't even see people as people. That about sums up who we're dealing with. Sounds like a real awful guy. And who, may I ask, is it that you're talking about? Well, about that, would you be willing to wait just a bit longer for the answer to that one? I'm pretty sure I'm right, but I'm still missing one last thing that'll let me be completely certain. I think we'll find out just what that is in the 6th plane. Goodness gracious. And here I thought we were finally going to get an answer. Was there a reason you can't share your theory as is? Yeah, I realize I'm asking a lot after we've come so far, but I promise that as soon as I know for sure I'll talk. I swear on the goddess's name and on the church's emblem. Well, I don't see any reason to say no. Likewise, he's clearly got his reasons. It's not often you ask us for favors, so I can let it slide. No problem here. If he says wait, I'll wait. I feel as though we can trust your judgment, Kevin, so I have no objections either. Me neither. I don't really care as long as I get to have my fun. I believe we're all in agreement then. Yep, consider this one settled. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Anyway, now that I'm up, I'm also down to take lead again. I'd appreciate it if you back me up. No problem. Seems like you're all ready to move on. While you're advancing through the 6th plan, I'll do all that I can on my end to find out more about the 7th. Of course, if you need my support, I'll be happy to provide it through the cube and the monuments as I always have. Now that you mention it, we haven't really thanked you for all the help you've given us since we got here, have we? Thanks, Celeste. We couldn't have done this without you. We truly are in your debt. Please, think nothing of it. I'm but a shadow, placed here with a duty to fulfill. I believe helping you to be part of that duty. If I may, allow me to help you however I can. Will do. Sorry for worrying you too, Reese, but I'm just fine now. So please, just leave everything to me. I'm begging you. Only if you promise me one thing. Well, what is it? I won't make you promise not to put yourself in danger or to overdo it, but don't do anything that would make Rufina sad. You really know how to hit a guy where it hurts, don't you? So, will you promise? Yeah, I promise. I swear on her name I won't. Okay.
You ready?
Piece of cake. Leave it to Ren.
Oh, yeah. God, I was going to do one of the other ones.
Oh, okay.
Let's do it!
View part 2. Alright, let's read through this shit quick as heck. Heck. I can't believe I'm going through with this. I should have never given in to pressure and promised to come here once a month in the first place. Having to adjust my schedule all the time just so I can come all this way to eat is such a pain in the ass. Agate. Agate does kind of look like a trans man. I don't know why I think that, but something in the eyes. Oh, well, whatever. I do owe her, I guess. What the hell? I just felt this horrible chill run down my spine. What was that? Huh? Okay then. Doesn't seem like I've got a cold or anything. Probably no big deal. Well, that's everything switched that needs to be. The machine guns are... That's fair, honestly. Yeah, and I have known a trans man who went very Republican, so my birth of trans men could be wide. Can either be someone that looks very man. I feel like most trans men that I've seen do try to overblow it a little bit without the masculinity, but you know, they are allowed to do whatever they want. So just sucks when that makes them then vote for Donald Trump. Racism. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if he was already dabbling his toes in it. Machine guns are new models, so they could probably do with some tweaking. That's all of its armament strength. Its mobility's up 16% because of all the work we did through the night, you know. Okay, I think we should leave it like this for now. Take some data as is before we start doing anything else. Works for me. Yeah, men love everything that ends in an ism. Sexism, racism. I don't think they like Buddhism very much. Works for me. Ordinarily, we just settle for testing whether it can perform basic actions at this stage and call it a day. But thanks to all of Tita's help, it's ended up relatively complete for a prototype. I think we can probably get away with doing a simple combat test using it. And we should too. After all, it just so happens that we have the perfect guinea Bigfoot coming. Dad, morning Tita, did you sleep well? Yeah, I feel great, but, All I can picture in my mind is the sight of that red-haired hooligan crawling on the ground after getting the beating of a lifetime by the Orbital Gear. I can hardly wait to see it in real life, too. Mom, I keep trying to tell you that Agate's really not a bad person. But take what she's saying to heart, Tina. She could probably stand to discuss the issue a bit more tactfully. But I'm sure all she wants is to find out exactly what Agate is trying to worm his way to you in the first place. Oh boy, even Dad seems to have him wrong. Okay, let me explain this one more time. He might be sort of rude and blunt, and he does grumble every time he has to do something, and he has a bad habit of scaring people off easily. But he's actually a kind, good person, I swear. Really now? Starting to get a little worried about him too. What? Why? They keep saying he's a really nice person. Alright, time to go and get things ready. I'll leave the final adjustments to you, Dan. I've got something to take care of elsewhere. You're going then? That I am. I've heard more than enough. Something has to be done. The sinner must be punished with death. What? Mom, where are you going? Wait! Mom! What did I do? What's happening here? What? Liv, right? Oh, Liv. What was Erica in such a hurry for? Well, it's time for the testing to begin. You're not much less of an overprotective parent than she is, I'll have you know. Where is she? I could have sworn I saw her running this way. Where could she have gone? Probably shouldn't have arrived so early. Might as well drop by the guild and see if there's any work to do until evening. What? Was that just my imagination? The second I walked in the door, I felt like my life was in mortal danger. The only person here is this researcher there, so it must have been. Oh my, what have we here? Isn't this a goddamn cross in it? I pity you, I really do. Come again? I never dreamed my Taka would come wandering in nonchalantly while I was making the necessary preparations for his execution. And that makes things easy for me. Now I can tell you what I want directly. You've prepared a most perfect place to die for you over the central factory. So come along, there's not a moment to waste. Who are you? Are you here to pick a fight with me or something? Not at all. This is a completely legitimate request I made to the guild, or more specifically to you. Like hell you did. No request like that would ever get accepted here. If you want to submit a request to the guild, you're gonna have to come up with something a little better than that. Oh, you pitiful flea. I figured you were a little thick-headed, but I didn't think your general IQ would be quite this low. God damn. Mom, calm the fuck down. You need to be more aware of your sins. What does this woman have against me? Her eyes are scaring the shit out of me. Clean out those ears of yours and listen well, moron. This request is about testing the capabilities of the Orbital Gear by comparing it to you in a variety of situations, which means that by helping us, we'll be able to improve it. And in that process, may the unforgivable sins you've committed shall be... So what are you rambling on about, woman? Maybe I didn't get the memo, but the bracer guild exists to help people who really need it. It doesn't exist just to do any old thing someone feels like asking us to do, so I really haven't got time to mess around with some crazy time waster. Is that the real reason you don't want to do this, or are you just scared? Say that again. Can't find her anywhere in town at all, and she hasn't gone home. Just where could Mom have run off to? It's not my fault you're not listening to me. As I said, if you help with these tests, I might even be gracious enough to consider reducing your punishment a little. That sounded like Mom. Could she be in the guild? You want help that much? Theta? Agate? What are you doing with Mom? Oh, and one more thing I want to make very clear right off the bat. You do not get within a 1 Selgi radius of my sugar powdered donut under any circumstance. Are we clear, you shameless hoodlum? Oh, wait a sec. Whoosh. Zoom. The hell? What just happened there? She just up and ran off with Tita. I hope I didn't just witness her getting abducted by someone dangerous. You don't need to worry about that. Oh, sup, Gilligan? Her name is Erica Russell. She's Tita's mother. Her mother? That is Tita's mother? You gotta be kidding me. Her parents came back here from abroad after 2 weeks ago now. About 2 weeks ago now. Erica and Dan Russell. Their arrival was somewhat unconventional, admittedly, but they really are Tita's parents. I can assure you of that. You're trying to tell me that woman is related to her by blood? And with that mystery solved, would you mind if we got right to discussing work matters? Oh, yeah, lay it on me. I'm free until this evening, so if you got any quick jobs that need doing, I can knock them out for you. Well, first, there's this one from Central Factory. They're requesting assistance with a variety of tests from a prototype of a new weapon called the Orbital Gear. Yeah, it was fine. I think that I was fortunately able to kill it before it got a chance to do any of the moves that, you know, before it could... I'm assuming it was going to inflict a bunch of status effects, but I just killed it before it was able to do that, so that part worked fine. Luckily, getting Zodiac available helps a lot. Orbital Gear? Metal Gear? Hold on a minute, that sounds familiar. The guild has officially accepted the request that Erica mentioned you earlier. that sounds incredibly annoying. That's why having just like one powerhouse, one healer, and the other two, well, one's usually also another attacker, or, just someone specialized in the Orbital Arts. It has your name on it, in fact. Ugh, I can't believe this. She actually submitted this as an official request. I don't know much about this Orbital gear that you do. I don't know much more about this Orbital gear than you do, I'm afraid. She merely described it as a weapon that combines the finest in Liberal's Orbital technology. It's being developed by the entire Russell family together to boot. The location you'll need to go is Zeiss Central Factory. A new weapon? Wait a sec, you said the whole Russell family, right? Not just the adults? Please tell me Tita isn't involved in this crap. I couldn't tell you, she didn't say. I've heard Tita was about ready to graduate from being an apprentice and become a full-fledged engineer, though, so perhaps she is. Would her involvement be a problem to you, Agate? Well, no, but I've never met her parents. I've only heard about them from Tita, so it's not like I can pretend I know what they're like. But her mom's nothing like she made her sound, and she seems kind of messed up in the head. That kook's got Tita involved in developing some kind of new weapon. Put that request on hold for now, Kilika. On hold? Don't give it to anyone else for now, I assume you mean? Yeah, I'm gonna go and find out what's going on. Don't even think of giving that to anyone else before I'm back. Oh, God, can I move? Okay. Yeah, lots of memories to go over. And yeah, I imagine chapter 6 is super long. And is there 7 chapters then, or is there another chapter after? I get it. Yeah. Oh, they might be in their house. I don't remember where operations and testing. Thought it might be in the basement. Just where would they have those two gone? I can't find them anywhere. Hey there, must be Agate. Who's this guy? He doesn't seem like any ordinary engineer. Oh, I get it now. You're Dan, right? Seem to remember hearing you were a bracer at one point. Oh, was it Cassius who told you? Oh, no. I just heard some stuff about you from Tita and her grandpa. Right. Actually, he quit the whole bracer thing about 10 years back, didn't he? Makes it right around the time when Cassius joined. Can't imagine him being as much of a lunatic, but who knows? You guys are developing a new weapon, right? I heard you got Tita helping you out with it. That true? Oh, yeah. She's not just a simple assistant, however. She's a formal member of its development team. Tita's become so much more capable over these past couple of years. I don't even feel like there is all that much I can teach her anymore. I was right. What the hell have you guys got your own kid doing? I know you're busy and you can't afford to be back home here that often. I know that little squirt loves Orbital Tech, so part of me gets why you'd want her to help with whatever new stuff you got in the works. But that doesn't make it okay to let someone that young work on developing a new weapon. Use some common goddamn sense, man. What's so funny? Agate, do you trust her? What's trust got to do with this? Don't go trying to change the subject on me while what you got her doing. I've heard a lot about you since coming back here. And with that, there's just one question I want to hear the answer to you from directly. Now, it's my understanding that you've been keeping her company quite often while my wife and I were away. Is that because you feel she's unreliable, or maybe just a coincidence, or is there some other reason? Just what have you been trying to achieve by being with her so much? What? I wasn't trying to achieve anything. I guess if I had to give an answer. There's no denying how much she's helped me. I'll admit, at the start she seemed like she could do jack all, and I stuck around to protect her. Thought she never actually needed it. She ended up doing way more for me than I ever did for her in the end. So yeah, I guess when I put it that way, I do trust her. Your daughter's pretty damn amazing. See. Okay, so he doesn't seem to have as many screws loose as his wife. You could probably give him a pass, right? Look, I'm guessing there's some special reason Tita ended up involving developing that weapon of yours, right? Mind telling me what it is? Yeah, there is. Well, I suppose it couldn't hurt to tell you. Familiar with Renee from Ouroboros, right? Yeah, that crazy strong little girl with a huge robot. Can't forget her if I tried. Tita told us that she's friends with that girl, which sounds insane, I know. It's not. She doesn't talk about it, but I know she is. Feels like she's gonna go into unnatural lengths to avoid the issue even coming up, too. That makes explaining this a little simpler. The Orbital Gear project was begun with the aim to develop a new kind of weapon that could compete with society's advanced military technology. Eventually, we hope to end up with something that can even go head-to-head with Vader Mater. As soon as she heard about what we were planning to do, Tita told us that she wanted to be part of it of her own volition. First, Eric and I were strongly opposed to the idea. It was Tita who insisted she wanted to do whatever she could to keep the connection she had with Renee. She wouldn't take no for an answer. She insisted this is something she could do for her. From my perspective, her intention isn't actually to talk Renee down or anything along those lines. She just thinks that by participating in the Orbital Gear's development, she'll be able to keep thinking about her. The project connects them in a tiny way, even if they can't meet, even if Tita can't do anything more substantial for them. It really is a tiny connection, yet that's probably the best she can do for Renee right now. She's determined to do it. I had no idea. She's such an idiot. How am I supposed to know you're shouldering something that heavy if you don't tell me? She's working on the project formally as an engineer, no different to Eric or me. My wife was the one who gave her permission. After she showed as much resolve as she did, it wouldn't have been fair of us to treat her like a child. Mind if I ask something? Where's that Orbital Gear thing now? Does that mean you're up for the job? Well, I can't walk the hell away. She might go do something crazy again if I leave her alone. I see. Yeah, Albert was right about you, Agate. You seem to have some promise. What are you talking about? What's Gramps saying? I'll leave this, incidentally. Agate received an identification card from Dad. Is it in the elevator? We'll let you go to BF5, or B5F, of the building where the test will take place. Tita and Erica should be there. You're gonna want to make sure you're ready if you do go, though. Erica's been dead set on testing you. I couldn't care less what she wants. I'm just gonna go help Tita with the test. What anyone else does is none of my business. What about you, Dan? You ain't coming? Don't mind me. I'll be here. It's just so we're clear, I haven't decided to accept you myself yet. Accept me as what? They're really making this weird. Is it a guy take like 20? I guess this is the place. Wait, is that it? It's all the checks and legs complete. I guess I'll check the settings one more time, too. I got nothing to do till Mom and Dad come back, so I should make the most of it. I thought it was going to be an orbital cannon. Can't believe you're making a robot as nuts as this. Agate, what are you doing here? Is it because of Mom? Did she ask you to come here? I'm so sorry, Mom and Dad seem to have got you all wrong. I keep trying to explain to them what you're really like, but they never listen to me. It's not a big deal. I ain't here because your mom asked me to come anyway. You're not? Well, I heard you were working pretty hard down here, like as a proper engineer. So I figured I'd come and join you as my way of showing my support, I guess. Helping with these tests is an official request anyway, so it works out. Oh, God. I have Facebook up. Okay, that's what that notification was. Alright, let's take a look. $10:03, 9:58. I mean, technically, he is a grandpa. What the fuck? Hey, what's up? Not too much. Oh, that's cool. Still trying. An odd fellow, that one. Okay, let me give you a brief rundown of the Orbital Gear then. The prototype's most distinguishing characteristic. Yeah, the fact that it's like, 9:58, that was like 5 minutes ago, so he was just responding to whatever you're typing. I don't... Dads can really be weird. I don't know. Put it in my drawers. Oh, my eyes feel so much better. Oh, so dry. Prototype's most distinguishing characteristic is that the pilot can climb inside and operate it directly from within. It hasn't been decided for sure that the final model will necessarily be like this, though. Oh, and then there's how it reaches its maximum mobility. Come over here for a minute. Oh, what are your last 3 achievements? Is one of them beating Weiss? I can't remember. Sure. You design a new walking system to increase its mobility substantially, you see. Ordinarily, bipedal robots require 2 units that control their posture and center of gravity, which work in tandem with one another to walk. This approach really drains system resources across the whole archism. The way we've chosen to resolve this is... Huh? What the hell? Mom, how long have you been there? So you decided to assist with the test, have you, Agate Cross? You're so sweet. Does that mean you finally accepted your sins and have come to repent? All quests. Yeah, so I guess that would fall underneath that. Yeah, hard mode is definitely a big one, but because you can skip through cutscenes, it does shorten it by like a lot. No friggin' clue what you're talking about. You were trying to get close to Tina thinking I wasn't here, weren't you? Admit your sins and repent. I finally have first-hand evidence. Cried out loud, you quit with those eyes? It's giving me the creeps. He might be completely useless when it comes to technology. But he's got potential, don't you think? Might just be right. I have to admit, there were concerns. I can appreciate that he at least tries to follow subjects he doesn't understand instead of outright refusing to listen. What are you doing up there? Especially you, Dan. You were just up on the roof with me a minute ago. I did tell you I was going to watch the test, didn't I? Well, here I am. I can't work out what he's thinking any more than I can his wife. Don't you dare ignore me. I gotta take crossing her. Well, she's just fucking punch him? Jesus. Well, regardless, let's everyone gather now. I suppose it's time for us to begin. What are we doing? I finished all the necessary final checks. Good girl, Tina. Let the testing begin. What is wrong with this family? Well, Tina, do you think you'll be able to operate it all right? Yep, I'll be fine. I've had plenty of practice. I'm ready to go as soon as everyone else is. Begin monitoring. No problems in the data link. Looks like we're good to go. Okay, Gate, we're now going to begin testing on the Orbital Gear version 0.5. You're sure you're ready for this? Yeah, I am. I've come this far. I'm not going to turn tail now. I want you to promise one thing before we begin, though. The final test will be a mock battle between yourself and the Orbital Gear. Because Tina to have so much as the tiniest scratch on her, I'll be setting you up to the goddess personally. I wouldn't go quite that far, but you get the idea. Don't hurt her, alright? I know. I ain't gonna hold back, but I ain't gonna hurt her either. That's all I wanted to hear. Okay, for starters, Dan went around Agate and began attaching small quartz to various points on his body. What are you doing? They're so that we can collect data from your body in real time during the testing process. So this prototype's ability should be about equal to your own, if not a little above what you're capable of. This should be the perfect way to test what it can really do. Well, if that's your reason, you sure this isn't some form of harassment? Of course not. Right. Erica, if you would. Gladly. What am I even watching here? It's Erica's success dance. She always does before even every big test or experiment. Alrighty, I'm ready. Set up complete. Can't believe you still do that after all this time. It's not like it actually has any practical effect either. Look at the data from all the tests she's done collectively. There's no difference in the odds of success whether she does it or not. Here, let me take care of that. Fire! As you can see, it's best to leave her alone when she gets all fired up like this. Feeling exhausted already, and we haven't even started yet. First test is a simple race. You're going to be doing 3 laps of the course, and the first to the finish line wins. There are obstacles in the way too, just so you know. Be careful of those. Are you ready, Agate? Ready as I'll ever be. Let's get this started. I'm here for work, not to play. Haha, so you are. Well, take your positions. Ready? Go. Oh, I thought I was going to have to do it. What just happened? It flew. I'm sorry, Agate, but Mom told me I had to finish the race by jumping over the finishing line all of a sudden. Hehe. I should have known. Mind you, it's not like jumping was against the rules of the race, and we wanted to collect the data from it too. I'd say you only got yourself to blame for getting cocky, wouldn't you? Ah. Now, what are we doing now? This is a test of the orbital gear's precision. What I want you to do is place the 4 colored drum cans on their corresponding tiles on the floor. It'll be harder than it looks. Don't assume this is going to be a snap. If I lose this, I'm never going to hear the end of how I'm a clumsy excuse for a human, am I? Alright, let's get started then. Begin. Ah, piece of cake. Wow, hey, we got some excellent data out of that. Well done, Tina. You did a wonderful job operating it. The adjustment set made all the difference, really. The tuning of the actuators are perfect. I don't doubt that. He's always been good at handling these things. The arms have acceleration control now, too. And was there even any point in me being here if you're just going to ignore me? Now, that test was just about collecting data. It doesn't really matter who won. Still, that's not true for the next one. And the real fun begins. The last test we're going to be performing is a mock battle to test the orbital gear's overall capabilities. Take your positions, both of you. Okay, got it. I've been through this once before, but it bears repeating. Only aim for the orbital gear. If I find so much as a hair out of place on Tina, it'll be very painfully executed on the spot. I know. You don't need to keep stating the obvious. Are you ready? Yeah. Bring it on. I killed her. That wraps that up. You cheated. You totally cheated. Cheated how? You're full of shit. I am not. You're some kind of invisible special power. You must have. Well, like hell I did. Alright. Well, I think it's only fair to call this Agate's victory. That was the last of the tests, right? Quest fulfilled then. My work here is done. Silly me, I nearly forgot, Dad. Did you say you wanted a one-on-one fight against this red-headed ruffian yesterday? Did I? Oh, right, I did. Cassie's told me a little about him, so I'd like the opportunity at some point. What? I have a bad feeling about this. You're the best. Go get your weapon. It doesn't necessarily have to be now. No, you're doing it now. No time to waste. Alright, I'll leave things here to you, Erica. I don't think this is going to be easy either. He might have been forced to retire because of an injury, but he's still very strong. He's the one who taught Cassius the basics of fighting with the staff 10 years ago, even. Seriously? Cassius then went on to perfect the art of using one to fight himself, admittedly. But that should give you an idea of just how strong my awesome hubby is, surely. No, I really don't want to back down. Hey, wait a second, the tests are over. My work is done. Why am I stuck doing another completely unrelated fight? Work's not done until I say it is, bucko. Oh yeah, while we're waiting for Dad, I need to check Tina hasn't got any injuries. Because if she has, you know what's gonna happen. I'm down, Tina. What's wrong, sweetie? I kinda can't. Some weird errors come up when I don't know what to do. Huh? What's going on? Oh no! No! Damn it, no! Whatever commands I try to give, it just won't respond. Shut it down, Tina. I can't. It won't do anything I tell it to. Hey, what's going on here? Explain this the way I can understand. Tina, what's going on? Have you lost control of it? Agate, run! stopped it moving. Come on out. I can't. The seatbelt's stuck. Damn it. Thank goodness. Huh? Yeah. Ooh, just in the nick of time. You two okay? Cheetah and I are fine, but... Oh. Agate! No, this is my fault because of me. I'm sorry. It's not my fault, all of it. I had said I wanted to get closer to Renee. I knew I couldn't really do anything for her. I knew this was just my own satisfaction. This wasn't what I wanted to happen at all. I swear, this wasn't what I was trying to do by getting involved in this project, but... Oh, give it a rest, will you? It's bad enough without you crying. Oh, Agate? It'll take more than that to finish me off. I figured you knew that. Ugh. Damn, though, that thing packs a punch. Luckily, I was able to block the brunt of the impact with my sword. If I hadn't, I'd really have a date with the goddess right about now. Hey, I said I'm fine, alright? This is nothing. Stop your crying, alright? But this is all because of me. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna do this anymore. I quit. So... Don't you dare give up, Tita. What? You heard me. Don't you dare just throw in the towel over something this small. You want to get closer to Renee, right? You want to understand her better, right? Try and do it. Don't just give up at the first hurdle you come across. Even when you get hurt. I've been a worthless 10 years, Tina. I'm not going to deny that, but there was one thing I could never bring myself to do, and that was to throw this away. Never. But that's fine, because this is why I'm the bracer that I am now. Many folks have things that become such a big part of them they can't bear to throw them away or leave them behind. Things that, no matter how much they try to forget, they just can't. I got something like that. I'm pretty sure you found something like that too, don't you? He's right. I really do. I changed my mind. I won't give up. I don't have time to stand around crying. Not when I've got things I need to do. I'll think about what I can do and I'm going to do it. It's just like you're a bracer, I'm now a researcher. Really now? Agate, it's nothing. Well, what's with the faces? It's all starting to make sense now. See, I told you, he's rude, he's thick-headed, he's got all the tact of a wrench in the groin. There's promise in him. That there is. Preparations for it aren't quite finished, but I think it's time we get to the second phase of testing our red-headed friend right away. The hell are you talking about? It looks like I underestimated you, Agate. Jada seems to have come out of this unharmed, just as you promised. Oh, yeah. I'd like you to come to our house this evening. Huh? I thought coming over for dinner was why I was here in Sites to begin with. You'll be more than welcome. What's going on with him all of a sudden? Agate, thank you very much again for earlier. You end up having to protect me again. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. Still sorry, but I don't think I'm gonna have to pass. I think I'm gonna have to pass on. Today we're having a hot pot full of mushrooms and wild plants and a soup with lots of seaweed. Mom and Dad finally seem to understand you better too, so this should be really fun. Now that we get to enjoy a nice hot pot together. Oh right, I can hardly wait. So that's what it was. I can't believe I didn't notice that when I was doing the final checks. This is all my fault. We don't know that yet for sure, Tita. Let's not jump to conclusions. No good comes from blaming yourself for feeling responsible before we know if you even had anything to do with it. Okay, still. Gah! Where the hell does this hammer come from? What's wrong with this place? That sounded like Agate. Really? Probably just your imagination. Maybe. That reminds me, he should be here any minute now. Better go and warm up the food. Whoa! What a bunch of lances pop out of the ground. Erica, I think lances may have been overdoing it a tad. At least stick with concealed holes in the ground, won't you? Ah! How long were you looking at before he's able to make it here, might I ask? I was hoping to take this chance to have a man-to-man talk with him. That only the goddess knows. Seems like he's putting up a good fight, but make no mistake, Agate Krasner, our testing process has only just begun. Side story, Orbital Gear Project Part 2, done. Cheetah learned the S-Craft Orbital Gear. Okay. Okay, so I've done the moon doors. Did that one. Did that one. Did I do this one? Oh, yeah, I did that one. Okay. Okay, 7 and 8.
Here we go! Roger.
Okay. Overcome the trial before you. Then I shall grant to you a memory fragment and my blessing. We're actually overcoming. Shoot. Let's see if I fail it. Yes. I don't think I saved it all. Okay. I can't believe that worked like that. What? Okay, cool. You've overcome the trial. Thus I shall grant to you a memory fragment and my blessing. Orbits are devices that use the orbital energy contained. Oh, this is the Epstein Foundation. Have you done any of hard mode, or are you like in the middle of doing hard mode stuff? Our foundation was first established in the year 1155, the Inception calendar, the year after Professor Epstein's passing. It was created by his brilliant-minded disciples in order to honor his wishes. Okay. The foundation is based in his home state of Le Mans, where it remains in operation to this day. So did you beat Weiss? Did you fight Weiss? I know that's sort of like in the DLC. But it's not DLC. Well, you have to have the DLC to be able to fight it. Oh, you did. Nice, nice. Well, that's at least according to... I remember looking up like the most challenging bosses. People would say it was Weiss. But yeah, it's yeah. You done the hardest stuff in the game then, for sure. The foundation was first established, blah, blah, blah. It was created by his brilliant-minded disciples. Too powerful. It's created by his brilliant-minded, blah, blah, blah. It is based in the home state of Le Mans, where it remains in operation to this day. It was rather limited in size in the beginning, and its attempts to spread orbital technology was initially met with success. Sensing that the professor's dream would never be realized at the rate they were going, the three key researchers left Le Mans to try and spread the seeds of orbital technology across the continent themselves. One of these was Professor G. Schmidt, the professor who has gained a fine reputation of his own for his skill in the field of mechanical. No, I'm sure you are. If you're able to beat everybody, then yeah, the hard mode stuff won't be that difficult. The professor who had gained a fine reputation of his own for his skill in the field of mechanical engineering went around and visited corporations in various nations to persuade them of the benefits of Orbment. Man, you're really gonna like Rebirth. If you're enjoying Remake, you're really gonna like Rebirth. Second was Professor L. Hamilton. Mindful of the technological gap between regions, Geelong both believed it was rural and remote areas that needed Orbit technology more than any other. As such, he enlisted the help of the Bracer Guild, which already had a close relationship with the Foundation, and formed a mission with the intent of promoting and spreading the technology where applicable. You can't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth or the stuff that's being talked about here. The professor herself also toured the regions with the aim of spreading public awareness and laying foundations for others to build on the future. The third was Professor A. Russell, now known far and wide as the father of the revolution. Professor Russell returned to his home nation of Liberal and continued to work tirelessly to advance Orbit technology there. And within a year of returning, he has set up the Zeiss Engineering Factory, now known as Zeiss Central Factory, ZCF, and created the first Orbit to be made outside Le Mans State. 3 years later, the reigning king of Liberal at the time, Edgar III, visited the factory to inspect it, and he decided to donate a large amount of money to further its research. With His Majesty's endorsement, Orbits began to spread like wildfire throughout the kingdom, bringing such prosperity that the people of other nations were filled with envy. Up until then, most people didn't see Orbits in a particularly positive light, but their success in Liberal changed those impressions virtually overnight. One nation after another began to reach out to our foundation to share Orbit technology, and both our foundation's financial and social standing became that much more secure. In the eyes of the world, the Orbital Revolution was a sudden, far-reaching transformation, but it was only because of years of reaching out to people and diligent, largely unnoticed research that it was able to all happen. The Foundation's activities center around the following 3 guiding principles. 1. Carrying out fundamental research on orbits. 2. Spreading orbital technology and informing the public of its benefits. 3. Contributing to world peace through technology. Now then, let's discuss each of the 3 guiding principles, in more depth. Carrying out fundamental research on orbits. 1. The Foundation's most important mission is naturally the improvement and development of orbital technology. The fundamental principles behind how orbits work need no improvement as such, but their architectures, their internal structures, have been approved upon countless times in the past and will surely continue to be perfected by the curious mind as the years go on. Orbit's architecture concerns the mechanical parts inside them, such as the cogs and screws, and there is still plenty of room for change as this new technology develops. These improvements can reap great rewards, but the research necessary to make them is known to be as lengthy as it is expensive. As a result, companies who prioritize profit over all else are less inclined to pursue them. That makes our Foundation's research all the more important from a social perspective. Spreading orbital technology and informing the public of its benefits. 2 other important goals of the Foundation are to spread orbital technology as widely as possible and to educate the public on the correct way to use it. While orbits have become part of the daily lives of most who live in advanced nations and populated urban areas, the reality in remote and mountainous regions is very different. To counter this, we have long worked to send missions of engineers and bracers to these regions to try and better the standard of living for these people, and will continue to do so. We also continue to work on other ways to spread awareness of orbital technology, such as working closely with Deception Church to have it added to the curriculum of Sunday school classes. Contributing to world peace through technology. It is to pursue this noble yet extremely difficult goal that the Foundation has had a close relationship with the Bracer Guild ever since its initial founding. The Guild was established as an international peacekeeping organization and can mediate on conflicts between nations from a neutral point of view, making it essential to the stability of our world as it stands. The Epstein Foundation continues to back them up fully in their case, both with financial aid and using the fact that Le Mans State is the only place where tactical orbits are produced to provide them with equipment. Just as well, the relationship also provides ideal feedback towards tweaking the quality of tactical orbits as they are used in combat too. Every machine and every invention goes through a long, grueling process behind the scenes before eventually reaching its finished, refined form, and tactical orbits are no exception. Then, in S1190, our Foundation unveiled the Orbital Network Project, which will be implemented in partnership with ZCF. Said project aims to join all of Zemuria together with a single united communication network, but our hope is that it will do much more than that. Our hope is that it will help to realize a peaceful world through communication. Sadly, Orbit's relationships with peace as a concept has been somewhat complicated. Are they aiding in its realization, or are they doing the exact opposite? Professor Epstein expresses hopes that their ability to realize the limitless looping of energy would be able to bring lasting peace to the world. Instead, recent years have thoroughly betrayed those hopes, and the post-revolution world has been a chaotic one indeed. The conflict between Liberal and Erebonia, for one, made significant use of Orbital weaponry, airships included. It seems beyond a doubt that Orbital weaponry will continue to become more and more advanced, making war even more tragic than ever. In the face of all of this, how should we go about trying to create a peaceful world? We believe the best way to do this is to rely on the power of communication and a means to do so with people of different nationalities and races. If these people can more easily interact and more easily deepen their understanding of one another, perhaps that will allow us to create the world we all so dearly desire. In the end, one thing is for certain, our challenges to try and realize Professor Epstein's ideals are only just beginning. Unfortunately, name that one. Whew. Goodness gracious. Not my dashboard. Yeah, I'm playing something right now. Click on this guy, please. Mute myself. Right, I'm going to take a short break. I'll be back in a little bit. Okay. Back at it. Oh, God. Your dog here? Luna, you gotta watch out. I'm gonna roll right under you. Over you. Okay. There we go. Oh, I feel much better. Okay. Alright, moon doors. Did all of those. Star doors. Did that one. Did that one. Okay. This is Ollie there. And what's his toes? Mueller. Mueller. Do I want to increase his strength? Ooh, EXP. That's minus his defense. I like that. The door to darkness. Oh, that's the door to darkness, Sora. Oh, that's the weed, Sora. It's dank as hell. Bring me to the playful minstrel. Your ass smells, Sora. That's the door to stankness. One month after the collapse of the liberal arc, the banquet to celebrate the crisis's successful resolution was over, with Estelle and her friends having largely left the capital to go elsewhere. One of them, however, Prince Oliver Therese Ormond, sat rather comfortably in the ambassador's office in Gransel's Erebonian embassy, his work in the country not quite settled. I can't believe that you... I mean, my deepest apologies for not noticing that you were His Highness Prince Olivet sooner. Oh, I'm not surprised you never realized I may be a prince, but my mother was a commoner. What point is there in bothering to remember my face? It's not as though I often showed myself in the palace or attended high society gatherings. Knowing me certainly isn't going to help you in moving up the ranks, my friend. Well, there's no need to be so humble, Your Highness. Besides, I'm actually rather grateful to you, Ambassador. You gave me all kinds of useful advice during my stay here at the embassy that I'm sure will be to my benefit in the future. Well-meant words such as, act like a man of the Empire for once in your life and stop idling here. Go home and try doing some damned work. Your Highness, Your Highness, I think you've tormented him enough for one day. The Ambassador behaved in the same way any other sane man would in his position. If anything, I'd say he has every right to be angry at us for keeping the truth from him for so long. But Mueller... I suppose you're right. I'll spare him any more teasing for now. I actually wasn't joking about being grateful to you, though. You truly have done admirable work over the past month. I have? Acting as a pipeline with the Empire, checking the safety of Erebonians residing in Liberal, helping the International Liner Service to resume. All those, and those are only the tip of the iceberg. You've done so much more. You have my deepest thanks as a prince of the Empire. I am not worthy of such praise, Your Highness. You, however, deserve the utmost for braving the dangers you did flying up to the Liberal Ark. All of what happened seems to have caused quite the commotion in our homeland, so the people seem to be rather relieved now that they know the danger is past. It's all thanks to your courage that they were able to rest easy. Oh, there's no point in flattering me, Ambassador. I just did what I could, nothing more, nothing less, and I couldn't have done anything alone. All I was able to accomplish was thanks to the help of those around me. I'm fairly removed from the stereotype of Erebonians as stern, strong, and self-sufficient, if I do say so myself. As rude as it may be to agree, perhaps you're correct. Yet I believe your willingness to be flexible most definitely helped rather than hindered you here. I believe people like you are exactly what the Empire is going to need in the future, regardless of how I may feel about His Excellency the Chancellor's approach. Ambassador. Well, this is a surprise. I was under the impression that you supported the Chancellor. Then again, you are a noble. Does that lead you to oppose his reformist policies, perhaps? I may be a noble on paper, but I'm only a baron. All in all, I generally fall in favor of his reformist policies. Be that as it may, while this may just be the result of being liberal for so long and being influenced by the ways of its people, I do sometimes find myself becoming frightened by his hardline approach. I can't help but wonder exactly what direction he's trying to take our old nation. Interesting. Your Highness? Well, I was just thinking that I'm quite glad to have taken the chance to engage in such fruitful talk with you just before departing the country. I pray you will continue doing all you can to ensure the peace of Liberl and its surrounding nations while I'm gone, preferably in cooperation with Ambassador Cochrane. Yes, let's not forget her, I suppose. So it's true that since the Non-Aggression Pact was signed, there has been some progress with regards to the crossbow problem. And given that it was Liberl who proposed said pact, that makes my role in future negotiations very important indeed. I presume that is what you were trying to say. You're a sharp one good man. Excellent. Now I can return to the capital with my mind at ease. Leave everything here to me, Your Highness. I'll be looking forward to hearing what you achieve back on our homeland. Summer rage quit for the night, not a true creature was more so. I want to be done soon. I could go to bed for my 21st. Go back to town to get equipment to counteract that rough early. Yeah, just grind during the 24-hour. That's a good way to start a long stream, is just do a little bit of grinding. Get everything all lined up, and then just get it, just get into it. Because, yeah, Deathblow is so fucking annoying. I don't agree with Deathblow. I feel like there should be a way to counteract it that's just not equipment. Like, it should always take them an extra turn, so you could stop it, but it does make the game more challenging in not a bad way. And technically, I could just play it on easy, and it wouldn't matter, so my fault for playing it on a difficulty where I'm expecting real difficulty. I imagine that enemies on hard, or what is it, hell difficulty, or insane, the top difficulty, I imagine they just will fucking hit you with any status effect they can. This truly is a country like no other. I never thought the day would come when I would hear things like that from a noble of the Empire. Indeed, he's apparently somewhat less of an obstinate man than I thought he was. Perhaps his nation's very air has the power to genuinely change people. Seems to have had an effect on you, too. I feel like I'm seeing a lot more smiles from you these days than I used to. I'm loath to admit it, but that may well be true. I still find myself wishing that you would learn from Librarian's dignity and sense of restraint, however. Two qualities you don't particularly possess in any measure. In fact, you have far too much of their opposites. You say that, but these qualities are the only weapons that I have. I don't have much that will allow me to compete against the Chancellor. I need to use what little happens to be tucked in my corner as best I can. Have there been any changes to our plans? None. We should be able to proceed as arranged. 3 days ago, the Chancellor left the capital on a tour of Eastern Erebonia. Tomorrow, you'll be returning there abroad the Arsal while he's still out in the east. All those who need to be made aware of our return have been given proper notice. Your arrival in Erebonia will make a real impact. Of that I'm certain. What potential obstructions to the plan are there at present? Nothing major. There have been some movements in the Intelligent Division's 4th subdivision, but not much. There's a chance that everyone is being cautious because the Arsal is involved, but I'd put greater odds on the idea that everyone is just treating this as a pompous performance by you and not taking it seriously. Well, they'd be right to. It is. I have no choice but to start here, even if that means I have to use Liberl. And if I'm going to put on a show, why not put on the finest one the skies have ever seen? I suppose I can't argue that. I'm sorry to trouble you at this late hour, Your Highness. A message has arrived for you from Heimdall. What would you have me do? Really? All right, come in. Pardon me. Well, if it isn't Lecter. Oh, hey, there's Lecter. There's he eats people. I was wondering where you'd been. I haven't seen you all day. I've been exceptionally busy with work since this morning, I'm afraid. I'd hoped to be able to come and see you earlier since you'll be leaving tomorrow. Terribly sorry for not being able to. Oh, never mind that. If that work of yours is done now, we three could always enjoy some sensual quality time together for the remainder of the night. So what was the message from the Capital Secretary? I've acknowledged receipt of His Highness's message. However, they didn't anticipate that you may be able to arrive all the way from Grancel in less than half a day. As such, they're currently in a minor panic trying to ensure everything's ready for the ceremony tomorrow. That doesn't come as a surprise. There's nothing like the Arsal when it comes to speed and home. Oh, how cruel you both are for so deftly ignoring my proposal. Although it sounds as though the stage will be set in time. Now I need to decide on an outfit that will leave everyone's jaws on the floor to suit my arrival. Perhaps a glistening coat and white loincloth would do the trick. That'd make a grand impact, all right. I almost wish I could go along and see it myself. Please don't encourage you. You show remarkable promise for someone so young. What do you say to coming back on the Arsal with me? I'd welcome your company. Your work here in Liberl is just about done, is it? As it is, isn't it? Your offer is certainly tempting, but I'm afraid I have another job to take care of soon. The thought is appreciated, of course. Really? Well, that is a shame. Good luck with this next job of yours. Thank you. Well, if you'll excuse me. So, that is secondary Lecter Arundel. It is safe to assume he's one of the Chancellors? Almost definitely, yes. He came through Hockengate on foot and took up his new position at the embassy a month ago. And right around the same time, we headed to the Liberal Ark aboard the Arsile at that. There's no way that could possibly be coincidence. No, it couldn't. The most likely possibility seems to be that he's part of the intelligence division. Sure, not doing anything regarding him all this time was a good idea? Oh, absolutely. We needed some way to find out what the Chancellor was up to after all. We'll probably get some kind of reaction from the Chancellor through his reports at some point, probably in about 2 weeks when the Chancellor's tour is finished. You planned that far along ahead, have you? Well, in that case, I'll be sure that we're ready. I'll be counting on you, love. Oh, something the matter? Not really, it's just that the moon has come out. What a beautiful full moon it is. Strange to think this will be the last time we'll see the moon from here. Truth be told, I'm gonna miss it. Well, it looks like putting a smile on your face a little more often isn't the only thing Liberal's done for you. It's opened up your eyes to life's natural beauty as well. But in all seriousness, we'll just have to do all we can to be able to come back and see it again one day. While we're both still alive. Ha, indeed. The next morning, okay, I was like, is it done? Nope. And we're still going. Yeah, that sounds like an incredibly frustrating situation. This is my drums. Damn, this is so much rain. Okay. All right. Your Majesty, Your Highness, I humbly thank you both for your generous hospitality during my stay in your fine kingdom. You were even gracious enough to humor my brazen request of escorting me back to Heimdall aboard the Arsile. The debt I owe you will be repaid many times over in the future. Rest assured of that. Oh, you needn't think of this as anything we went out of our way for. Escorting an honored state guest back home is a matter of course. Particularly a guest to whom we owe a great debt of gratitude. If you ever have the opportunity, please do come back to Liberal again in the future. I imagine Estelle and Josh will be back then by 2. So we'll be able to give you a nice warm welcome. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, you definitely need better quotes. Quartz. I tried it, well, I was just trying to get everybody up to 2, but you're on a kind of a different system, so I don't know if it's basically the same combat-wise, or if you have a lot more maneuverability. I'm sure it's probably very similar. Now that I think about it, I doubt it would. If it changed a lot, you probably would have told me. So we'll be able to give you a nice warm welcome. I'm already excited for my next visit. Have they left the country yet, by the way? They're busy getting ready to leave over in Roland at the moment, I believe. Planning to see them off when the time comes. I see. Incidentally, while the ruins of Hamel are currently sealed off, I'll do what I can on my end to ensure they are allowed inside. Would I trouble you to pass that along to them? Certainly. Thank you very much, Your Highness. Don't think nothing of it. It's the least I could do after all they've done for me. I owe you a great deal too, Cassius. If not for your assistance, stopping that armor division from crossing into Liberal wouldn't have been as simple as it was. I could say the same to you. Still, as I'm sure you're aware, that outcome will have been well within the realm of possibility for the Chancellor. I doubt he was even surprised by that incident. Really? Most likely not. Ereboni has nothing at all to gain from using that situation to occupy Liberal. Certainly not to the extent that it would be worth going out of their way to develop inefficient steam tanks. The only reason I can see for him doing what he did was as a show of power to surrounding nations, a statement that even without orbital power, Erebonia's army could still act. I indeed suspect that was his true aim all along. Goodness. So you did notice the orbital shutdown phenomenon was a complete unknown to the rest of the continent. Perhaps it might even never occur again. There's always the chance it might. Whether it's here or somewhere else entirely. Maybe the Empire only has built a relatively small number of those tanks at all, too. Certainly not enough to launch a full-scale invasion. By the sounds of it, they were just put together in Reinford's factories using parts intended for standard orbital tanks. But as it stands, the know-how to put together tanks like that only exists in the Empire, and in those unpredictable times, no other nation has the time or resources to try and develop extremely inefficient steam-powered weaponry. In a sense, because of what just happened, the Imperial Army's effect as a deterrent is even greater than ever. He's using war as a diplomatic tool, and very effectively at that. None of this has ever occurred to me. I have a long way to go before I'm fit to be the ruler of this country. Don't beat yourself up too much about it. He's no ordinary foe to even those hardened veterans. The Chancellor always seems to be thinking several steps ahead of the rest of the world. It's impressive, no matter what we may think of his actual ideas. I'm quite the reckless fool to be trying to challenge him, if I do say so myself. Don't be silly, Your Highness. How can you say that with a smile on your face is utterly beguiling me? You should focus on building yourself a strong foothold to begin with. I do hope you'll be careful. No matter what may occur, be sure not to lose sight of exactly where you stand. Of course, Your Majesty. If I were to go and bring shame upon myself now, I'd be wasting all the effort involved in escorting me back home. I'll be sure to take what you have said to heart. Excuse me, Your Majesty. Hilda? Whatever's the matter? It's not often I see you so flustered. My apologies, Your Majesty. Just that a guest for you arrived all of a sudden at the castle. Ordinarily, I would not have rushed in while you were meeting with others, but the visitor is so irregular that I thought you should know at once. Irregular? How so? Sounds like it's about time I take my leave, then. Actually, the visitor said he would like to greet you as well, and not just Her Majesty. Nice. Nice to have those maxed out slots. What? Hilda, just who is this visitor? Well, he introduced himself as Chancellor Goliath Osborne of the Erebonian Empire. Oh, shit. That is... okay. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Gotta upgrade that to some... defense 2s. Maybe even a 3? Some HP 1 or 2? It's an honor to be granted a personal... It's an honor to be granted a personal audience. I'm Goliath Osborne, representative of the Imperial Government. My apologies for the abrupt intrusion. So you are Chancellor Osborne. It's a pleasure to see you again as well, Your Highness. It's been a year since we last met, has it not? I hope these passing months would have seen you well. Yes, a year sounds about right. Still, well, I hope you'll forgive me for asking. Just what did prompt someone of your stature to appear at the castle without warning? I'd very much like to hear your side of the story. My apologies, Your Highness. You see, these past few days I've been touring Eastern Erebonia on routine inspections. It's been going very smoothly, more so than I had initially anticipated. I had enough free time in my schedule to pay a cordial visit. Oh my, is that so? Naturally, I would have preferred to come here while the crisis was still unfolding like you yourself did, Your Highness. Unfortunately, the confusion in southern Erebonia was simply too pressing a matter, and I had no choice but to deal with that first. This was the first chance that presented itself to come here and meet directly with Her Majesty, so I acted with the utmost expediency. I hope you'll forgive my lack of proper decorum in failing to give advance notice of my arrival. That does make sense, at least. Regardless, please don't concern yourself with me, and no doubt you wish to offer your greetings to Her Majesty. My thanks, Your Highness. Well then, allow me to extend my most heartfelt greetings to both of you, Queen Alicia and Princess Claudia. It's abundantly clear that the crisis that unfolded here has been quite the ordeal for yourselves and for your nation's people, but my deepest sympathies for the hardships you have endured, as well as my commendation for bringing the situation under control. I thank you for your kind words, Your Excellency. If anything, we should be apologizing to you for the fact that the southern side of your nation was caught up in what should have been our problem. We should be the ones going to you rather than having you trouble yourself to come all the way to Liberal. I beg you to accept our apologies together with my deepest thanks for coming here today. I would never ask for apologies. I've heard what happened was the work of a shadowy organization stirring up trouble within your borders. While I meant well by sending a military force to aid you, I wouldn't have done something so careless had I known the truth of the matter. My actions were rash, foolish even. I was rightfully reprimanded by His Imperial Majesty for them. Oh my! Fortunately, His Highness the Prince was able to act with all due haste to put right my misstep before even greater harm was done. I owe you a great debt of gratitude for that, Your Highness, and congratulations besides for your part in bringing an end to the crisis. No, I did nothing out of the ordinary. I had a lot of help from Her Majesty, Your Highness, and Brigadier General Bright here, too. Bright, you say? It's a pleasure to meet you, Your Excellency. I'm Cassius Bright, a Brigadier General of the Libertarian Armed Royal Army. The pleasure is all mine, I assure you. Your name is rather well known even in the Empire. Not as much as yours is known here in Liberal, I would imagine. It's an honor to be able to speak with you in person. It's certainly a surprise to be able to, though. Coming here on a whim can't have been easy for a man as busy as yourself. It sounds as though I may have underestimated just how capable you truly are. Not at all. I was greatly impressed to see the Royal Army's effectiveness in dealing with the turmoil here. Your forces have proven powerful yet flexible, capable of dealing with emergencies ably and decisively. I might go as far as to say it embodies an ideal that the Imperial Army with its swollen ranks could never hope to realize. You flatter us, Your Excellency. For your part, I hear you're responsible for the establishment of the Imperial Army's famed Intelligence Division. Our army is in desperate need of a new one of its own, so I find myself quite envious. It almost sounds as though the two of us each want what the other has. Haha, so it does. May I ask, Excellency, what will you be doing now? For my part, I'm intending to leave the Liberal today, so I'm afraid I won't be around much longer. So I've been told. I believe you're intending to make your grand rival in Heimdallr aboard the famous Ozile. I'm impressed you're already aware. I almost wish I could return to Ereboni on board it alongside you, but alas, I'm afraid I have other business demanding my attention after I'm finished here. I'll be leaving Liberal separately this afternoon. That is a shame. I'd very much have liked to invite you to this evening's banquet. Please, you need not go to such troubles on my account. I feel as though I've put you out enough showing up unannounced as I did, to say nothing of dining with such esteemed company. Still, I do have some time before the airship I'll be leaving on is to depart. That being the case, might I ask for a little of your time, Your Highness? I have a few things I'd like to discuss with you personally. Very well. I have some matters I would actually like to discuss personally with you as well. What a fortuitous coincidence. Allow me to have a room arranged for the two of you to have your discussion then. Oh, there if you would. Certainly, Your Majesty. Wow. It's obvious that Her Majesty is quite the tea fancier, if this blend is anything to go by. The fragrance, the temperature, the taste, it'd be hard-pressed to find fault with any of it. I've always been more of a coffee man. Getting run over by a vehicle in VR? I can picture it now. Even though I can't. Got aphantasia. I've always been more of a coffee man myself, but I have no doubt that I'd be content with a cup of this at my desk each morning. As much as I agree with you, I don't believe we're here to talk about beverages, so shall we get right to the point? What did you want to discuss with me? I see your sojourn in Liberal has proven most fruitful. Pardon? When we last spoke, you struck me as a bright, flexible young man, and no doubt you still are, but now I see in you a resilient, inner strength girding those loins. I'm sure His Majesty will be most delighted with your personal development. Meanwhile, I see you're the same fearless man I've always known you to be. More so even, that crushing aura about you seems to have only grown with time. It's as if you feed on the resentment of those who live in the territories you annex. Such harsh words, Your Highness. Personally, I prefer the term political unification. Annex can carry such negative connotations. Since the end of the 100 Days War, our army hasn't committed a single act of aggression. All our unifications have been entirely peaceful. Oh, you're quite right about that, on the surface. Oh? It's amazing how similar the annexation process is every single time it happens. Starts with a small nation or independent state with an array of problems beyond repair. Those problems start to worsen, after which Jaegers... he's doing the CIA tactics. Okay. And other dangerous elements enter, plunging public order to an all-time low. Desperate for resolution, the local government requires the help of the Imperial Army. Before they know it, they're part of the Empire. Though it's not as though I can deny what you're saying, each instance does share certain commonalities. Still, it's hard to be expected, an inevitable consequence in the age of unchecked growth and progress in which we live. The Imperial Army is simply acting in the Empire's best interests, helping to stabilize our neighbors for the good of the Empire. And it's understandable that they would. I do find myself rather curious why Intelligence Division members are going to such nations with such peculiar frequency. Well, before the problems I described worsened, at least. Well, before. I wouldn't press as to where you came by such information, as curious as I am, but I will say this. At its most basic level, these actions are about risk management, because we've been acting to minimize such risk beforehand that the Army has been able to successfully quell each problem in turn. With a small price of earning the disdain of the people in those nations and an increased risk of terrorism in exchange. To tell you the truth, I'm rather astounded that you had the courage to come here to Liberal all on your own to begin with. After all, you made yourself the biggest target for terrorists in all of Erebonia. Your concern is touching, Your Highness. I would ask that you not trouble yourself with my safety. I employ some very skilled subordinates tasked primarily with eliminating the risk of terrorist attacks around against me. Really now? That Lecter is one of those, I assume? A rather peculiar fellow, isn't he? But a very useful one all the same. Working out the scheduling for this trip and taking all the necessary precautions to ward off terrorist threats when both is due. Thanks to his commendable efforts, I can depart for Crossbell free from worries as soon as I finish my business here. Crossbell? Are you surprised? I'll be participating in a top-secret discussion with a representative of the Crossbell government. Recently, a large amount of funding has been flowing into the country through Republican channels, putting our allies on the defensive. I'd always meant to visit at some point, and this seemed the perfect opportunity. Are you out of your mind? Crossbell is full of enemies and different factions at each other's throats. Here it's now even a hotbed for terrorists and criminal organizations because of its position as a buffer state. Does that really sound like the place the Erebonian Chancellor should be going even on an unofficial visit? I'm surprised to hear you advocating caution in the face of potential danger, Your Highness. After all, it was you who flew onto an ancient city at great risk to your own safety and returned unharmed after surveying it. Compared to such rousing risk-taking, my visit across Bell will be child's play. As I'm sure you're aware, you're regarded as something of a hero back in Erebonia now. Odd to see a hero make a grand return befitting his newly minted legend and aboard the famous Arsile, no less. Naturally, our hero has also taken the time to ensure that every well-known newspaper and magazine are aware of his homecoming, too. Oh, I have no doubts that— oh my god, it's just so much fucking dialogue. I have no doubts that your triumphant arrival will be every bit as glorious as it is played out in your imaginings, Your Highness. Do be sure to capitalize on this chance as best you can to build yourself a firm foothold. I expect great things from you. There's a lot of talking. I think we're getting close to being done with the majority of the really long doors, though, so... Hey, buddy, you haven't changed a bit, huh? It's great. Really? Sounds like a ton's happened, huh? But it's nice to see you and your master doing all right. It's great. Lecter? Well, good day to you, Your Highness. I pray I'm not causing any trouble by taking a tour of the castle like this. The view from this terrace certainly is beautiful, isn't it? What happened to you, Lecter? How did you end up working for Chancellor Osborne? I'm sorry, I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. Are you perchance mistaking me for someone else? Your name is Lecter Arundo. You were the student council president at Genus Royal Academy, which you attended before leaving suddenly 2 years ago. So no, I'm not mistaking you for someone else. But that's where you're wrong, because my name is actually Lecter Arundo. I can certainly see how our names could become mixed up, however. They are scarily close. Still, now you know, please just call me Lec. Don't try and joke around with me, Lecter. Do you have any idea how worried all of us were when you just disappeared without a word? I was thinking about doing it before it got too late, and then I just looked at the clock, and now it's 10:30. When my wife goes to bed, I very well... probably will, actually, yeah. So, it just might be a little later. I don't know. She should be going to bed soon. Yeah. We'll switch from reading this to reading... to more reading. But yeah, I think even if I only got like 30 to 45 minutes into Homestuck, I think that, you know, you gotta chip away at it as it goes. You submitted your notice to leave the academy and then were never seen again. Even the otherwise calm Leo let out a cry of anger when he found out. All Lucy could do was give a sad smile and say, "This is just like him," the whole time with tears in her eyes. Jill and Hans were heartbroken, and so was I. Yet after all that, after all this time, you finally show yourself knowing full well that I'm here, and this is how you act, by pretending you're someone else? Lecter. Sorry, no need for the scary glare. You're still taking things way too seriously. It looks like it'll take more than stepping out as Crown Princess to change that part of you. Oh, but you know, seeing you makes me feel kind of relieved. I always figured if someone like you became Crown Princess, you'd have virtually no freedom to do anything other than work. But from all that's reached my ears, it sounds like you're actually doing all right for yourself. And you've even made some great new friends after I left the academy, didn't you? Nice. I sure did. Nonetheless, it's thanks to you that I was able to change it all. You're the one who gave me the first push in the right direction. I never got the chance to thank you properly after you left. But after all this time, I've always been grateful for you. Well, consider me honored. Do I get a kiss in return? You do not. I may feel respect towards you, but nothing romantic. That's a bummer. There was me, all taken in by how pretty you've become, wondering if this could be the start of something downright magical. And what happens instead? My dream of romance and sweet smooches are crushed to nothing before they can even begin. I know you don't mean a word of that, you know. Looking very sharp yourself, though. It's surprising to see. Every time I've seen you before today, it was in that heavily frayed uniform worn in the most sloppily way imaginable. I think you'll find I was merely making a fashion statement. Oh my god, they were talking for so fucking long. Okay. Jesus. I'm not sure I understand. Do you not think so? Personally, I find it difficult to believe that you would not harbor some hatred towards Erebonia as it is today. A grand empire clinging to the glories of a bygone era, ruled by the nobility and shackled by meaningless conventions. Am I wrong? People call me the Blood and Iron Chancellor, as though I hold the whole of Erebonia in the palm of my hand, but in reality my position is far more tenuous. I have supporters and allies in the capital, certainly, but outside its walls, the nobility holds far more sway than any of them. Oh, excuse me. And while it is true I hold a great amount of power in the form of the Imperial Army, even then I only truly command around 70% of it. The remainder is loyalty to the nobility, who also maintain their own private armies. With those factored in, my advantage shrinks substantially. So you see, I'm still very much in the midst of a battle to truly exert control. Which is why you're building railways all over the country to expand your area of influence. And you've been annexing new territory to that same end. As I've long thought, you clearly understand me better than anyone else. That is why I'll say this once again. Work with me, Your Highness. With your support, our nation will be able to bring about real reform faster than ever. The noble faction, bloated within centuries of decadence, can be stopped before they even have the chance to unify against us. Surely that's what you desire more than anything. Let me just ask a simple question, Chancellor. What connection do you have with Ouroboros? I'm afraid I'm not quite sure what you're asking. I will say this, however. I'm a firm believer in using every resource at my disposal in the name of achieving reform. That's the way I believe in handling politics. I see. Well, it certainly does seem as though we would see eye to eye in many ways. That's all the more reason why I'm afraid I must refuse your offer. Is that so? Yes, I find it difficult to like the rotten noble faction that exists in the Empire. Or perhaps you're right that hate is the more appropriate word. But my feelings of fear towards your methods are far greater than my feelings of hatred towards the nobles. What you seem to be doing is trying to compel the Erebonians with the delusive utopia, to whip them into an enthusiastic frenzy. No doubt by successfully convincing the people, the old guard will fall into the metaphorical firestorm created, and yet by then, their gears will have already begun turning. There will be no satisfying aroused populace with the thirst for revolution. The storm will just keep growing larger and more ravenous, engulfing anything and everything in its wake. You know this, don't you, Chancellor? But of course, after all, that's what I intend to happen. It's the first stage of my reforms. I'd be more than happy to share further details with you if you were to decide to work with me, Your Highness. In the meantime, I wish you all well in strengthening your foothold back in the Empire. Of course, if that's your intention, you'll find a necessity to work with those nobles you so despise. You truly do see everything, don't you? That sounds like the noon bell. The airship should be arriving shortly. Which means it's time for me to take my leave, I'm afraid. I look forward to seeing you again in the capital in 2 weeks' time. I take it the discussion's over then? What's wrong? You look awfully tired. Oh, nothing. I'm just feeling odd and new at what a monster I decided to pick a fight with. Okay, I do not care about these two. I gotta wrap it up. Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. He gave her a pat on the head. Oh, that was the bell. That was the bell at noon. The noon bell. Goodbye, Lecter. The airship is going. The Chancellor, yeah, leaving. I was holding fast forward. So that was the Blood and Iron Chancellor. I can't believe he actually went on his way to use a civilian airship. Explain how she knows the kid. Yeah. Like, I'm with what just happened, but like, god damn, they are a lot of speaking. What? Oh, here we go. Ah. These look like rose petals? If you look out the windows on the right-hand side of the airship, you'll be able to see the famous high-speed cruiser, the Arza. We've been informed that it is on its way to the Imperial capital of Prince Olivert, but he has also given us a message to relay to all the passengers on board today. I give thanks to Ideals for the good fortune to have been able to meet you today. Oh yeah, no, he threw a rose. He threw a bouquet of roses in there. That'd be fucking crazy. Smokes the end of the message. Oliver just throws a child in the air, shoots him, they explodes everywhere. Never thought there was a bigger dumbass in this world than me, yet here we are. Very well, debaucherous prince. I look forward to seeing what you can do. Show me how long you can hold out against me. Okay. Oh, good lord. Okay, I'm gonna go feed the dogs. I'm gonna see if my wife is gonna go to bed. I'll be back in a little while. All right. Well, the wife is not sleeping yet, so I guess I'll just keep playing for, well, she's awake. I mean, it is Friday. It's hard because sometimes she goes to bed at like 8:30 and sometimes she goes to bed at like 11. It's usually actually right in between those. So, you know. Alright, there's most of her all the long memories of John. I'm just let's move her that super long. Yeah, I haven't gotten to the last moon door. Sard. So there's a ton of Sardors left, but I've done everything besides the fishing minigame. Oh shit, and this one. Okay, I guess let's see what's going on with this. Oh wait, I don't have the card that governs fate. That's why I haven't gone in there yet. Okay.
Leave it to Red.
Piece of cake.
Okay, now we are back into the actual game. Good God. This is the warp to the 6th plane, right? Time to hop to it, then. You sure you're okay now, Kevin? I'm fine, honestly. Never better. Anyway, we can't afford to stand when I'm talking to you. We need to get moving. You're right, I suppose. Isn't that Roma Pond? So the next place to be recreated is the scenic route near the Librarian royal family's villa. It'll probably be more dangerous than scenic this time around, though. We should start exploring as much of it as we can, but stay sharp. $12,000 each. God damn it. Lebensborn? That actually sounds really heady. I will have to look for that card. No, that is good to know. Bracer shoes. Bracer shoes for sale, never worn. God damn it. Damn it, I did it again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. There we go. I have any materials where I have like a whole bunch of them? I just forget to look at this. Okay. Synthesize quartz, synthesize quartz, synthesize quartz, synthesize quartz, synthesize quartz. There, everyone's got level 3 available. A lot of gems. Let's see. Attack 5. Got those. Mind 5 and water gem. HP 5. Okay. Oops. There's just a lot. There's just a lot to look at here. Okay. I'd like him to keep cast 2 on. So much to see, so much to do. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? Never know if you don't glow. Oh, never shine if you don't glow. Hey now, you're a rock star. Shame on. Go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Keep the quartz on. Go play, and all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. Place, but say it gets colder. You get older. Okay. $16,000. Even at 14,000. No, I want him to be able to heal as much as possible. Okay. He's got, okay, he's pretty stacked. Hey, he's pretty stacked. Don't think I have a hit for... I have an EP 5. Mind 5. What were the other ones I got? Absorb, Divine Eye, Scent, Eagle Eye, Information, Deception Vein, Luck. Oh, that's it. That's awesome. Okay, holy shit. Alright. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, because that puts him at like a crazy high amount. But yeah, now I do right now have 2 people who can use Zodiac. And then it'd be nice, then Joshua can use Saint, just in case. Okay. Oh, and then EP kill. It's true. That is true. Sometimes, as long as you got a healer, you're good to go. Okay, and then I need to change out their equipment. Oh my god. I feel like I start to zone out when I'm in the middle of like, okay, I gotta change. It happened with Final Fantasy VII. All versions of Final Fantasy VII as well. It was like, okay, I just spent 30 minutes in a menu trying to decide which stuff is best to combine, because it's fucking, I don't know, it's a lot. Cork swing. Let's do this. Oh yeah, I had her 140, keeping the kitty slippers on her. Yes, being able to go to the Guardian helps a lot. Or the Garden. Fuck, I'm zoning out there. God damn. Whew. That's a wide mouth. He's a killer! Look at all the guts that are alive!
We're good to go.
God damn, that was a lot of experience. I mean, no one should ever be deterred from quoting White as Kids You Know. It's so funny. I can't believe how much stuff that gives you. Like, just experience alone is... R.I.P. Trevor.
Not bad.
was very funny because I remember watching The Whitest Kids You Know season 1, like when it was on, because we had IFC. So I was watching it like while it was airing, and then I don't know if it was just when clips got passed around, because none of my friends watched it as it was happening, but I know that a lot of people had watched it way later on. I don't know what, it must have been on a channel that was not IFC. Because, like, let me tell you something, nobody watched IFC. Who had IFC? I was one of the only children who would be interested in looking at IFC. It's an odd child. Yep, nope, they were... I watched every season when it was, well, airing. I can see why you would think that, though. That makes a lot of sense. That's so funny to think about. But yeah, maybe most people just saw it on YouTube. That would make a lot of sense. Because I remember none of my friends quoted it. Like, it's not until I was much older.
We're good to go.
Guess I'm gonna keep doing this until it stops giving me so much fucking XP. No, now that I think about it, do I have Seption Bane equipped? I do.
Not bad.
Check that here. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, never mind. I'm almost getting a level up every time I fight one of these guys.
All right, what's next?
It's not giving me a lot of some of them, but like the ones that does give me a lot, it really give me quite a bit. I just have to imagine that this area is like a pretty drastic uptick in difficulty, maybe.
Not bad.
Sure, tell me one of the boss fights. Is it against God? And all of his angels? Reinforced from the same temple. That does sound pretty rough.
All right, what's next?
No, I suppose because they can show up as, like, the fake versions. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Well, is I doing a little bit of very guaranteed leveling up? Not too bad. I'm pretty sure he's not, or at least he's not giving them good benefits. I think that's why Satan left. But God, man, I've worked for you for infinity amount of time. time immemorial, and you still have not given me a raise. We don't even have an endpoint. Why did you make us with teeth?
Not bad.
God's like, yeah, well, you know, the company and all this stuff, it's hard to, like, you know, it's upper management. And he's like, God, you're God. There is no upper management. Like, well, you know, I still have to confer with some people. That's what I'm saying. I guess we're just gonna have to kill God then.
All right, what's next?
Nailer to Calamity Throw 2. Oh, nice. You gotta have a lot of magic with you. There has to be one person in your party who can be mistaken for a woman or a man, depending on whatever gender they identify as. They have to be able to be. Someone has to mistake them for the other gender. And if they're non-binary, then, well, actually, that happens a lot too. So, you need a non-binary party to be able to properly kill God. Shit. Yeah, they should be mistaken for non-binary. Like, oh, it's you. Hey there, you. I just forget that cancels out current.
Not bad.
I don't know if I'd started a thought and then just trailed off. I feel like I've been doing that a lot. My brain has just been turning to mush slowly because of all the news that's happening. And every Facebook group, or like every social media I'm on, it's just like everyone's like, are you burnt out? Like everybody in Minnesota, because I'm burnt out. How are you dealing with it? It's like, fuck man, not well.
All right, what's next?
Alright, this is gonna be my last time, and then I have to actually go further in here. Could not believe. Speaking of non-binary, my brother-in-law might have re-broken up with his one-time fiance that he bought a house with, who is non-binary.
Not bad.
That's a non-binary person I know, IRL. Guess let's try going north first. Just kidding, let's go south. Yep. So, they bought a house together, then they got engaged, they broke up because of my brother's partner wanting to sort of like they said they wanted to be able to move to Chicago, or they didn't want to stay in Minnesota, and like it just didn't really go super well. So they broke up, and then they're trying to sell the house that they had bought, and so they moved out, and it's been being shown. And then after my brother-in-law got his own apartment, he started being able to like actually like hook up with other people because he's a very inexperienced person, and so he was having a really good time and improving himself, going to the gym a bunch, doing the whole damn thing. And so I think that led to like the self-improvement aspect, was one of the things that the non-binary partner was like sort of looking for, that he would be willing to do that. And so then he did that, and then they got back together in a polycule. So then they started dating. There was 3 of them in this polycule where they were all dating, and then so they all moved into a different apartment together. And then one of the members of the polycule, I guess the other, they broke up with him. So they were. I thought they were doing pretty well, all things considered. But then now we just heard that my brother-in-law and his ex-fiance are now breaking up.
That's move out.
It is, at least that was the end. That was the end of it. But yes, it was very, trust me, it was very annoying to try to describe this stuff. It's just an annoying thing to describe this stuff in general. It's like, guys, stop being so annoying. Oh, this just goes back around. And none of us ever know what the hell is going on, too. We just always hear about it after the fact. I don't know. You just gotta roll with it. This is what happens when you have queer people in your life. You just cannot keep up with what the fuck they got going on for their relationships.
All right, what's next?
Like, and they had just moved into that apartment like 3 months ago. So they went very. They maybe went a little too quick to move back into it. That's just my opinion, though. I don't know. I guess if you're proven right almost immediately, is it still an opinion? Like, if you made a prediction and it's correct, but it was an opinion, I guess if a prediction comes true, do you get to gloat about it? I think I went both ways. Oh wait, the base of the monument is glowing and birds are visible upon its surface. The Lord of Phantasma does decree, here lies the monochrome schoolhouse. Place your hand on this monument, the White Wings among your number. So our friends left us a message, son. I'm sure the White Wings mention you must be referring to. I can only assume it must be a reference to my descendant. You're here. There's no need to be alarmed. That is only a shadow of myself that I created to talk to you here. Technically, I'm still in the garden. Now that I finally have some of my strength back, I've gained a few new tricks like this one up my sleeve. Well, that's cool. Anyway, am I right in guessing we'll need to go to the Margaret? You are indeed. It appears to be kind of gate connecting this area and another realm created by the Lord of Phantasma. However, in order to activate it, you'll need to have a certain member of your team with you. No doubt they work in a similar way to the doors scattered throughout Phantasma. Makes sense. So in this case, we're going to need to have Princess Claudia, right? I'd say so, yes. The other monuments in this area will likely also serve as gates to other areas requiring different team members. But as it stands, none of the others are active. I presume we'll need to travel through this gate and finish the area behind it first. Got it. We'll work our way through. Well, I wish you the best of luck. Should you require my aid, I will be in the garden. Okay, time to head back to the garden then, I guess. Hopefully it won't take much to persuade our fair princess to come with. Oh my god, what time is it right now? It's only 11. Wow. Yeah, I don't know why in the world I started thinking it was like 1 in the morning.
Together now.
Together now. Hi everyone, Celeste kindly explained the situation to me while you were away. You need my help in order to keep going, don't you? Oh, you've been filled in already? Great. Saves us the time explaining. Ready to leave as soon as you are, so just say the word when you're ready to go. Got it. We'll head on out as soon as we're done prepping, then. Leon. Ooh, she requires a lot there. No light o'clock. Alright, what does she got for ornaments? Chloe, what do you got for ornaments? Chloe, baby. Oh, yeah. That is more. Goodness, I feel like I'm zoning out. I think I read a little too much. Alright, I hate to disappoint, but it's just, I think I'm gonna go to bed. I will make a point if I stream tomorrow that I will read Homestuck. I'll be stuck at home and I will read it. Oh, so fucking tired. Thanks again. Okay, well, good night, everyone. I hope you all sleep very, very,